I recently connected with a really sweet man that said he wanted to buy a mobile home park so he could achieve passive income to fulfill his life's work. His life's work? He wanted to become a missionary in a third world country, spreading the word of God. His capital to invest? Not much. His appetite for turnaround properties? Low. His willingness to make a sacrifice? Huge. So he said. However, he said he needed to make $70,000 per year to go full-time and escape his W-2 job. He said beyond spreading the word of God, he also wanted more time with his family. In other words, his why for mobile home parks revolved around all of the potential benefits of owning a mobile home park. A la lots of cash flow and limited work. I mean, who doesn't want that, right? While his example may be extreme, it rhymes with many a story I've heard over the years. People try to get into this space to achieve passive income so they can do something else. People like this generally quit the space, most often before they even buy their first mobile home park. Because when times get tough, they don't have a strong enough why to bolster their mental fortitude to muscle through the hard times. Without a strong why, the thrill of making money quickly fades. Worse, this individual, like so many others, put conditions on chasing his dream. He needed, not wanted, needed $70,000 per year. Does he really need that? Absolutely not. To survive as a human being, you need food, water, and shelter. Anything beyond that mostly qualifies as a comfort. A house with a mortgage? A car? A reliable internet connection? These are ultimately nice to haves and not truly needs. This individual, from a very young age on into adulthood, has been spreading the word of God and wanted to do it more. In my opinion, that's a wonderful thing. Also, in my opinion, that's not a reason to get into mobile home parks. As I've said before, there are plenty of other businesses one can start that will result in passive income, or at least a potentially low amount of work. This individual, like many others, doesn't need $70,000 to go full-time. This individual needs courage. This individual needs to make a sacrifice. This individual needs to stop putting conditions on his escape from his W-2 job. And for a lot of you listening to this episode, you too need to drop conditions you set for your freedom. I mentioned on Plateau Busting Strategies, a former episode, that a former mentee of ours dropped the need to make $100,000 a year to go full-time, settling for just $50,000 per year. This former mentee of mine ended up making 4 offers and put 1 under contract within our 90-day mentorship program. But really, it took him 30 days to even come to that realization. So really, this occurred within 60 days. What if the only thing stopping you from making 4 offers in 60 days and putting 1 under contract was simply a mental barrier you put up? This mental barrier he set for his own freedom, ironically, prohibited his freedom. By dropping this debilitating condition to his freedom, my former mentee saved himself months, if not years, if not even saving him from never even getting into the space in the first place. And I'll say for me personally, if I hadn't dropped the need to make $70,000 per year, or even $40,000 for that matter, you probably wouldn't be listening to this podcast right now. I doubt I would have ever found a way into this space without making the major sacrifices I made. So what can our missionary friend learn from all this? Well, like they say, if it's that important to you, you'll find a way. If not, you'll find an excuse. I wish the best for this individual. I went through that process too. I also laid out conditions for my freedom. However, what made me different than most people that never ended up getting full-time in mobile home parks is that I persevered long enough to drop those conditions once I realized making $70,000 per year with no money to invest wasn't even remotely possible. I listened to the market and adjusted my expectations so I could find a way in. And in a shocking way, taking a massive pay cut, moving into a double wide, and losing all of my benefits while being 4+ hours away from my friends and family actually made me incredibly happy. It was exhilarating. Yeah, it was also scary as hell. But once I made the decision and formally quit my job, I hit a level of excitement that I still feel to this day. And for you listening in, I'll say your mobile home park journey will go one of two ways. Either you will drop some conditions you lay out for your own freedom, be it a salary amount or time commitment or whatever, and you'll find your own unique creative way into the space. Or you won't. You'll cling to these conditions that ultimately just hold you back, and you'll never amount to anything more than just a tire kicker. Which are you? A tire kicker or a sacrificer that boldly chases dreams?